Thank you and welcome. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the EIB World Service. I am Rush Limbaugh. Yes, available all over the world on shortwave radio broadcasts. In fact, can I just show you something? One of our cameramen, Faz, this is a shortwave radio. You can get these at your store and any store. And all you got to do is punch up the frequency here, just like on a calculator. Shows up there in the dial, and you tune in the station. We're at 15.420 megahertz on radio around the world, worldwide on EIB radio, and it's soon to be on television that way, I predict. Now let's get started here, folks. Again, I'm still on my exercise program. And I have found a way to get exercise as well as use a remote control unit. This is the new turkey baster that has somehow been utilized for the propagation of the human race. If you saw our show the other day. If you didn't see the show, use your imagination. You should be able to figure it out. It is... Well, it happened. I mean, it worked. This is our Fireside chat show, and I'm going to use this baster to come over and actually hit the play button. There we go, and we'll soon have our fireplace here. Oops, yeah, the volume is up. Hang on, folks, let me turn down the volume. And our latest edition, of course, which is the aquarium, again, replete with a copy of my book, Should These Stupid, Idiotic Fish Want to Try to Learn Something. Now, after yesterday's or last night's, depending on when you saw it, show, I was in my real TV host's office, winding down from what I thought was an absolutely fabulous show. And in walks Deborah, the Commie Babe makeup artist, and there she is. she's saying, here, oh no, what's he gonna say now? Right? So I'm saying, because she loves Clinton, see? She absolutely loves Clinton, and she gets mad every time that we deign to tell the truth about Bill Clinton. So I said, I always like to goose her. So, Deborah, it's a great show, wasn't it? Well, yeah. I sense you're less enthusiastic about it. Well, what are you so against the Chicano Studies program for? And I thought, all right, I'm going to take the opportunity of this show to expand a little bit. Why am I against? I'm not against Chicano studies per se. What I am in favor of is American studies. These are Chicano kids. These are black kids. These are females. Teach them about America. It's not going to do them any good to teach them things that's going to cause them to end up hating America and thinking that they don't have a chance here because they're discriminated against. And that's what all these black studies programs do. That's what Leonard Jeffries has been doing. And that's what they want to do out in UCLA at Chicano Studies. So that's what it is, Deborah. And I'm not against education, but those are American kids. Teach them about America. If we want a great country, we're going to have to do that. Does that help? All right. Okay. Now, let's see. This is so funny. I'm reading the Wall Street Journal earlier this week. There's this story in here on the front page about the troubles Time magazine is having. The instant news age leaves Time magazine searching for a mission. And it goes on to talk about some of the dumb decisions that they at the Wall Street Journal think that Time magazine has made, have made. And one of those dumb decisions involved me, which is why I'm going to tell you about this. Last October 26th, Time magazine was preparing a story on me that was to be a cover story. And at the last moment, some liberal editor, this is October 26th, this is a week before the election, some editor at Time, for whatever reason, decided, we need a week off from the campaign, to hell with putting Limbaugh in there, let's do the Iceman. So they ran this as their cover story. The Iceman, a 5,000-year-old guy that they found. And this was year-old news. That same week, Newsweek's cover was President Clinton, how he would govern. And as the Wall Street Journal writes, Time's cover that week, a skull illustrating findings from the unearthing of a frozen prehistoric man, da-da-da-da-da-da. Now, that's funny, because had they put me on the cover, they would have had the #1 selling issue of the year. Because as it was, that issue with the Iceman. This is what's interesting about this. Here is the Wall Street Journal criticizing Time for changing covers. But this issue, the Iceman, whatever it is, Secrets, was the #2 selling cover of the year for Time magazine. I wonder why. Well, USA Today attempted to answer that with this piece. Remember this? Sex and scandal aside, science racks up sales in 1992. Whoever wrote this piece thinks that the Iceman cover was responsible for all those sales. There are newfound interest on the part of the American public for science. Not stopping to think that there's a 4-page story in there on me and that I am telling my audience of 15 million about it. And that we had just started this TV show, and they went out. So the funny thing is, here is Time being criticized for their second highest-selling cover of the year by the Wall Street Journal. And it would have been #1 had they put me on the cover, which I now challenge them to do. If you, at Time, want to show the Wall Street Journal to be in total error, follow through on your threat from last October. I'll sit for another interview, cover story. There's all kinds of new stuff you can ask me since then. Well, there is. I want to take a quick phone call here before we go to the break. Oh, which reminds me, many of you have come to expect on the Fireside Chat Show viewer videos. My friends, I don't know what's happened out there, but they're pretty bad. The viewer videos you are sending in are absolutely embarrassingly hopeless. And I mean, I don't know how. Look, I'm an honest guy. I'm not going to sit here and say, they're pretty good. And I don't want to impugn your effort, but the effort doesn't get you on this show. Effort may get you into the White House. But it doesn't get you on this show. There are some things to remember about your videos. Brevity is the soul of wit. What did it take us? About 10 minutes today to watch 2 videos. People are sending in mini-series as video. Now, keep trying. The technical quality is fine. The production quality is fine. It's just that they're a little long. Some of them are a little hard to hear and a little bit too involved. But we know we can do it with a little goosing. I want to go to this phone call very quickly from Anniston, Alabama. It's Ann. Ann, hi, and welcome to the Rush Limbaugh TV show. Glad you're here.
Hello.
Hi.
My comment is, Dr. Limbaugh, that I think you're the best thing that could happen to the economy.
I am the best thing that could happen to the economy?
Right.
How so?
Well, back in December, during Christmas, you played music from Mannheim Steamroller. I'd be interested to see their sales figures from that time.
Speaking of that, you know what? My friends, I want to make an announcement right here. You have just reminded me of something, and I intend to say. Mannheim Steamroller, by the way, is a group out of Omaha. They make some great music. Some of it's new age, but their Christmas music is very good, and their sales did very well. An advertiser on this show, have you heard about this, Dick? I'm not going to tell you which advertiser it is. Because it would defeat the purpose. An advertiser to this show has been forced to cancel their advertising. Did you hear about this? You know why? You're probably thinking protests, angry letters, people causing pressure. And you'd be wrong. The reason they've canceled is because they're selling so much product, they're sold out. They've got to take their advertising off the air. I just found out about this. They have to take their advertising off the air while they build a new factory to build product to satisfy the demand created by this show. That's a success story, and she's right. You leave it up to us at this show, and we single-handedly, with you, can keep this economy robust and strong. Bill Clinton and his tax increases can only slow it down. Going to keep saying that until everybody agrees with me. We'll be back with the rest of our show after this. Don't go away. Limbaugh on TV, our Fireside Chat Show. Glad you're with us. Now, back to the economics of this country and back to differing philosophies or ideologies on how to stimulate the economy. What's best for America? As you know, on our yesterday or last night program, we detailed for you the errors in Bill Clinton's plan, raising taxes to slow down the economy. He thinks raising taxes is going to raise economic output and production. It never has in American history, in world history. There is no nation that has ever taxed itself into prosperity. Never. And these people aren't going to be the first to do it. It justifies economic theory. Now, I can sit here and say that to you, as I just have. Many of you out there love Bill Clinton. Many of you are Democrats. Many of you are liberals, and you think that there is a fairness quotient that we must consider. Well, there are people who have more than other people, so it's not fair, and therefore we must tax them, which is punish them. And you think that's going to add up to economic bliss and economic growth, and it doesn't. And I would like to take the opportunity I have here to illustrate to you just how Bill Clinton's plan doesn't work. And guess who I'd like to use as my substitute teacher? New York Governor Mario Cuomo. I want to go back, ladies and gentlemen. Only last week on this program, we, for you, chronicled the latest attempt by Mario Cuomo to convince Mercedes-Benz to locate an automobile manufacturing plant in New York State. Here is a segment from that show. Watch very carefully. How do you think that Mario Pius is trying to get Mercedes-Benz to build in his fiefdom? Well, let's put a graphic up and show you. Here are some economic lessons from Mario the Pius. How to lure foreign manufacturers by Mario Cuomo. Number one, you offer tax breaks for the rich. You know, he has offered tax breaks to Mercedes-Benz if they will locate New York. He's going to give them a break on the New York State tax rate. Number two, offer incentives along the lines of moving some employees, helping to build the plant, get the state going in with a lot of relaxation of regulation and so forth, which gets us to number three. He's offered to relax some environmental constraints so that they'll have a chance to not have to be so rigid when they build the plant with emission control standards and so forth. What does this all add up to? Number four, this is, in essence, trickle-down economics. Now, here's the real world. They want a business to come here. What do? They give it incentives, tax breaks, and everything else. It's exactly what we did in the 80s. Why not do the same for the people of the United States? I think the people in Washington ought to take an economics lesson from Mario Cuomo, who's obviously taking an economics lesson from me and the EIB network and the Limbaugh Institute. Because this is the real world, folks. They run around and say a whole bunch of different things, the exact opposite of what we showed you. But when they want business, they make it easy for them. They take away punitive taxes. And if you want the economy at large to grow, not just a new Mercedes-Benz plan, you do the same thing for the American people. Right. Makes total sense, does it not? That's what the 80s were. You know what we're going to do? Here's what we're going to do. We are very seriously considering making 600 copies of what you just saw, 600 little cassettes, and sending one to every member of Congress and the media, and saying, here's your guy, Mario Cuomo, a liberal Democrat from New York. Here's his recipe for economic growth in the state of New York. That's the exact opposite of what we hear from President Clinton. Now, on Thursday, that proposal was actually made. Now, you had to scour your newspaper to find this proposal. It was buried deep inside USA Today. It was barely visible in the New York papers that I saw, or the Washington Post. But some Senate Republicans actually proposed exactly what Mario Cuomo is trying to do in his proposal to Mercedes-Benz. We have videotape we'd like to show you.
Today, we offer a choice to the American people, a choice that can get our country back where it belongs. It's an 8-point alternative economic program that offers almost $36.5 billion in tax incentives for private job creation, as well as savings and investment. It's been estimated that this alternative will create more than 800,000 new jobs by 1998. And these are long-term private sector jobs, jobs that will get America moving again, jobs that will provide security for our families, jobs that will create even more jobs and raise the revenue the federal government needs to approach the deficit responsibility.
Delaware Senator William Roth, the same philosophy that Mario Cuomo is utilizing to get a Mercedes-Benz plant in New York, 180 degrees opposite that which Bill Clinton is proposing for the rest of you. Now, there are other parts of this plan that Senator Roth and the Senate Republicans have offered. It includes $45.7 billion worth of spending cuts as well, tax rate reductions, and a whole lot of economic growth. This should have been front page news. This should have been easily discoverable by all of you. Just keep in mind, folks, that's the recipe for economic growth, and even liberal Democrats like Mario Cuomo know it, because when they really do want to help their states, they do what Republicans want to do, not what Bill Clinton is advocating. Back with more right after this. A couple shows ago, we intended to do a segment celebrating and congratulating Harlem minister Calvin Butts for his stand against rap music. We're going to do that segment now. Before we do, let's show you just a sample of some rap music that's available on MTV or on The Box or at your store on the radio. This is what many young kids are watching. Here's just a sample of it.
Just keep fighting and please don't knock it until you try it. So to all of you bitches and all you hoes, let's have group sex and do the Rambo.
2 Live Crew there, I believe, is who we just showed you. The Reverend Butts, a black minister in Harlem, very upset about all this, as he should be. He also cites other songs such as Ice-T's Blank the Police. By the way, 2 Live Crew has also had a song out called Me So Horny, and I'm just going to tell you exactly what this song's about. With glee and with happiness, this song is almost an instructional song on how to do great damage to female genitals. But people don't know this because they can seldom understand the words, and it's done with great happiness and with smiles. Reverend Butts had this to say about the problem.
9 and 10-year-old girls on the street bumping and grinding, mimicking what they see in the videos. It's not far from that bumping and grinding to 14 and 15-year-olds becoming pregnant.
And he has called for some of this stuff to be looked at and not listened to, and he's being assaulted by many in the black community who think that he's talking about their culture. It's a very courageous thing for him to stand up and do this, and this is one of the reasons why I think that it's maybe too premature to say conservatism is winning, but we can. But certainly liberalism is losing some ground when these kinds of things happen, and we should thank Reverend Butts and applaud his courage. We've got a quick break, back with one final segment after this. We're back. That's a halfway decent economy clap. USA Today, Jeannie Williams' column on Thursday. There it is. I want to show you, I want to put the words on the screen, especially after what you just saw with rap video, Whoopie Goldberg, who is praised as a great woman, a great feminist, a great role model for people to follow. Here's what she said to Bill Clinton at a fundraiser on Wednesday night in New York City. Don't let them get you down. It ain't easy the first 100 days. Pardon my French, but it. That's the 4-letter F word in there, folks, that she said, and she's famous for this. She has said at pro-choice rallies, she has said this about Reagan, only not it, the president. When you carry people's dreams, she said to the president, they want you to be magnificent immediately, but you gotta be who you are. She then went on to say, you're like guys I used to go out with. You're funny, you're cute. I should have met your in college. Well, and Clinton probably went, hey, I like the way you talk. I'll tell you, the civility, hold it. The civility, and the lack of it here is something about which we should all be concerned. And I'll tell you something, Whoopi, Clinton's not carrying my dreams, and he better not be carrying yours. See you on our next show, folks. See you then. Bye-bye.
Services provided and promotional fees paid by the following. Rush Limbaugh's Wardrobe by Rochester, Big and Tall. Rush video to the Rush Limbaugh Show, 515 West 57th Street, New York City, New York, 10019.
Tonight at 8, the action's heating up on a very special episode of Baywatch. Then at 10, check out what's happening on LA's very independent Real News. And now, stay tuned for the Montel Williams Show, coming up next on Channel 13.
If you'd like to order a video cassette of Rush's TV show for only $24.95, just call 1-800-FOR-VIDEO. For a transcript, send $5 to Burrell's Transcripts, Box 7, Livingston, New Jersey, 07039, or call 1-800-777-TEXT.